Mudahar made a video recently because he got a blackmail email claiming to have his address, phone number, and other personal information, picture of his house, his address, all this stuff. Thankfully, the information was pretty inaccurate when it came to like his address, where he lived and stuff. You can go watch his video about that whole situation. But you may be wondering how malicious actors or even good people who want to find information on bad people, how do you get this kind of information off people? It's important to know where your information is on the internet, because anybody could do what happened to Mudahar, and if you're not knowledgeable, then you could fall for this sort of thing. You could be scared into it because your information may be a lot more accurate than his. So you should try to essentially dox yourself, and so that you're the first person to dox yourself, so that way you know where your stuff is and you can, take the necessary precautions against it. Believe it or not, one of the great ways to look for this is honestly to just Google your own name. So I'll Google my username, totally not K0, and come up will be a bunch of stuff. I bet a lot of you guys didn't know I even had a Twitch account, but I do have a Twitch account, this dead piece of shit that I never touch. I have a GitHub right here. That's a post right there. I have this little web-based music player I've been working on. My Hypixel Skyblock auction house transactions. This is when I bought some goofy shit on the market. You can, if you were to read through this enough, you'll know that all my dragon armor is actually just bought and paid for. I didn't actually grind for it because I got lucky. This is an ad I posted on the Minecraft forum for an old server, and apparently I forgot to fucking open friend requests like a dumbass. Let's see. I don't know what this is. It seems to be associated with that project. So you can see my YouTube. If I were to scroll further, like you can just see, oh, I'm even on a website that I don't know. What is this? Let's find out. So nope, totally, totally. Wait, huh? I mean, it said it there. Whatever. Some sort of form, I guess. I'm not too sure what this is. But my name is there, and whatever nerd VPN is, this seems to be, I have no idea what this is. I guess it's like YouTube, like a third-party YouTube site. YouTube, please don't take me down for showing me that, for showing that. I'm not supporting it or condoning it, okay? Everyone, you should be following your YouTube TOS and totally not using any ad blockers. Trust. Now, just from a Google search like that alone, you can often find data broker websites which just list all of your fucking info. Like, I'll tell you this right now. I have a family member that I looked up just for out of curiosity one time, and all of their previous email addresses, their previous places of employment, current place of employment, all their addresses, current address, everything, relatives, and phone numbers, you name it, like literally every single detail about them's just wide open. Definitely possible to get information off someone as long as you just know their name. No, people knowing your name online is a very bad thing typically, because often that just means that your info is just a Google search away. Now, there's also this website called Have I Been Pwned. This looks pretty goofy, but what it means is your information involved in a data breach. This is like Google, but you put in an email address and it checks if you're involved in any of these massive data breaches. So one thing you can also look for, I'm pretty sure, is passwords. You can see if your password's in any of these databases. So you can put in your password here. Like if you do use, if you don't use a password manager, which you should be using, and you have a password that you use on all of your accounts or something, you should probably consider checking if it's available in here. Like if I were to just type in password here, oh, it's been used 10 million times. So yeah, don't use password, fellas. Now, if I take an email address, if I take my email address, you can see that I'm not actually involved in any data breaches. But the moment I put in a personal email address, this may come up. There's also tools like Sherlock, which allow you to essentially input a username, and then out comes every single service that you're signed up for under that same username, which is pretty bad, because let's say on one social media account you post maybe a little bit more personal things than another social media account. Like, you could have a Twitter account and not post anything sensitive, but then you could have an Instagram account with that same handle name, and all of a sudden I can easily find a whole lot more personal info about you. If you post pictures in the real world, or like maybe post something that accidentally reveals something a little too sensitive, and if I just put in a little bit of time and effort, I can actually figure out where you are in the world. Like, it's pretty impressive. I'm sure you guys have all seen that one YouTuber that's, playing GeoGuessr, just looks at a single image and then can immediately tell exactly where it is, or like use tools to find out. It's pretty scary. It's not actually that hard to do, especially with AI on the rise and everything. It's not that hard. Now look, I don't want you to get fear. I don't want you to be shitting bricks, schizophrenically like gripping your shotgun, hiding in your closet, or just throwing away all your technology and going being Amish, right? Which honestly would be pretty great, I'll be honest. So now you may be asking, well, what the fuck do I do about it? Once your information's out there, that's kind of one of the key rules of the internet. What goes on the internet can never go away. The internet, anything that's posted on the internet, it lives forever. Like it's always going to be somewhere. So it can be buried really deep, but it's going to always exist somewhere in some archive, whatever. Because it was public, and a lot of people, I feel like, nowadays don't understand what public means. It's public info, so anybody in the world could see it. And really, the best way you can handle this is stop using your real name and stop posting really personal shit online. That would be a good step. Step 2 is use a password manager and don't reuse the same passwords. Step 3, if you're not a loser like me who sits on YouTube and needs to have like the brand name or whatever the fuck, then maybe having different handle names on different services may help too, to prevent tools like Sherlock. You could also just limit your social media use. Like I don't have Instagram, I don't have Snapchat, anything like that. I have Twitter and I have YouTube. Like, I don't have anything crazy. What you could also do, there are like these services, I think, like there's one called Guardio or whatever. You guys have probably been shielded by enough YouTubers. I can't speak to the accuracy and the greatness of these services because I've never tried it myself, but you can get a service to help you with that. I don't really think it's necessary. If your information gets leaked online, there's not too much you can do about it. I feel like the best thing you can do is just change your info. Like, I sign up to almost every service, and anytime I give out my phone number, I almost always give out a VoIP number instead, a voice over IP number, not my legitimate real main phone number, because conveniently after I sign up for a certain service or whatever, I'll start getting spam. I'll start getting my number appearing in places because it gets sold to third parties and stuff and distributed around. And so if that ever happens, I can just dispose the number and get a new one. So I highly recommend you look into VoIP numbers. Like, okay, look, I'm a fucking weirdo, okay? Even when I give out my phone number to real life friends or something, if I ever sign up for a job or anything, I give them my fucking VoIP number. I have different VoIP numbers for different situations. I have a VoIP number for friends. I have a VoIP number for work. Okay, look, you don't have to be as big of a weirdo as me. Maybe just one VoIP number's fine. If you want to look for a free VoIP solution, then you can absolutely go to Google Voice, because all you need is just your Google account and then a phone number. You put in your real phone number, you can get a VoIP number like that's linked to it, I guess, and you can use it just like a normal phone number, accept calls, texts, whatever. It's free in the United States, but I'm pretty sure it costs a little bit of money per hour or per call or per minute, however it is, for phone calls and texts and stuff. I think there's like rates. So just keep that in mind. And also, you're going to be dealing with Google fucking raw dog ass raping your data like no tomorrow. But I mean, rather the devil you know than the devil you don't, right? And also, I'm pretty sure Google doesn't sell your data off so blatantly like that, because I've had a Google Voice number, actually several, for a long time now, and I haven't had any of my information like completely fucked yet, as far as like getting just passed around like a fucking like a sex toy. So I mean, I'm just saying, I think people should, because caring about your privacy a little better is actually not that difficult. It's better if you start sooner rather than later, because once your information's already out there, nothing you can really do about it except just try to do better in the future. And that's the part that sucks about it. Information, once it's out, it's out. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. So just be more careful. Start caring about it now. If you're someone who hasn't had your information leaked yet, you might as well start protecting it now before it does happen to you. And then you're like, oh no, my data is there. How can I get rid of it? And then you start paying for solutions like Guardio, which you really shouldn't be, because instead what you should be doing is just caring a little bit about your privacy in the first place. That's one thing that I don't like about Guardio and these services, is that, I mean, yeah, it's good. Those services are great for people who are already deep in the shitter as far as their information being out there, but they never tell you how to prevent being in that situation in the first place, because that's how they make their money. That's about it. See ya.